If you've been around this channel for a little while, I think many of you know that often, not always, but frequently, I like to start off these videos with some sort of a joke or a pun, and, well, for this one I didn't have one lined up, so I sent inquiries out to 10 of my wittiest friends and asked them to send me their best puns to see if any of them might make the cut, but unfortunately, no pun intended. Well, it's been a little bit of a long day for me. I've been quite busy all day, as a matter of fact, and it's time, almost, after I'm done filming this anyway, for me to retire and read a good book for an hour or two. Fortunately, right here, I have got some new books in the mail. This is the Nightworms package for this June of 2025. Nightworms, of course, being the monthly horror book subscription service that sends one of these every month. And if you've been around this channel, you know that one of the things I do on this channel is to open these up and discuss whatever books I have received, so that's what we're doing today. In case you are new here, welcome. And you can find all the information, you can subscribe and ring my bell and all those things down below. If you happen to be interested in the books that I'm going to be discussing in a moment, I don't even know what they are yet, I'm still opening up the package right now, but if you happen to find these interesting, I will also have purchase links right down there in the What's It where you can get these for yourselves. That's a great way you can support my work on this channel while also getting some books for yourself. But you're not really here to listen to me prattle on about all that stuff. You're here to figure out what these books are and to hear my thoughts about those. So let's dive right in with the literary goodness. The first of those books is a paperback entitled Silk and Sinew, a collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora, edited by Christy Park Kolsky. It's a bit of a long title, but very descriptive. So this is Asian, or at least Asian-inspired folk horror. It's not one that I'm familiar with, but I think the title and subtitle sort of give it away in terms of what we should expect. The description on the back says, "Experience a tapestry of terror. From lengths of muscle and vein, ground bones, endless ropes of sinew. It is with our bodies folk horror is woven." Edited by Bram Stoker Award nominee Christy Park Kolsky, Silk and Sinew features contributions from some of the most acclaimed authors of the Asian diaspora, and then it lists a bunch of those authors, and just at a glance I can tell that there are several names with which I am familiar, and several names with which I am not familiar. And then there's some quotes of praise and things on the back. So this is an anthology of short stories. I don't know a whole lot about it. There are some authors, as I said, whose names I recognize, and some of them I have read before and have enjoyed their work. And I have to say, even though I don't really know much about what these particular stories are, and I don't know a lot of these authors, I am very frequently impressed with Asian horror. And I think part of the reason is I grew up with Western horror. I'm from Western civilization. And so I think because of my own cultural background, I'm used to Western ghost stories and Western horror stories. And so they're less likely to be able to frighten me and less shocking just because they draw from things with which I'm already familiar. Whereas Eastern horror frequently uses tropes that might be very familiar in the East, but are less familiar to us here, or at least have been less familiar. I think as we read and watch more of them, they're getting more familiar. But because they take slightly different twists and turns on some of those ideas and some of the monsters and tropes and things, they end up being, if not more original in an objective sense, they end up at least seeming more original just because of cultural differences. And even though there are those cultural differences, of course, human nature is human nature, and we're all kind of afraid of the same things. They just put different flavors on it. So, long story short, I end up very frequently liking a lot of Asian horror, and I'm looking forward to diving into this one. Oh, what's this here? There's also a It's not a book plate, it's a postcard with the cover art, and it's autographed by Christy Park Kulski, the editor of this anthology. So that's a nice little thing. And I have never found an anthology that was 100% good or 100% bad, except maybe some of the ones that I've edited, because then I could pick ones that were to my own taste. But this one bodes well, I think. I am very much looking forward to this. I think there should be a lot more good than bad in here, and it should be a winner, and I hope it is. And, well, after I've had a chance to read it, I will report back. As a matter of fact, I should remind you that though obviously I've not read these books now, and I can't review them on this video, I do review all of the books that I read, out of these packages and otherwise, in monthly book review videos, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. But the next book to come out, this one's a hardcover. This one is called Immaculate Conception, and it's by Ling Ling Huang. This is an author I am not familiar with, and it's a book, of course, I'm not familiar with. If I were familiar with the book, I would have been familiar with the author. That should go without saying. I do recognize several of the names of authors who have provided blurbs or quotes of praise on the back. But let's read the flap here, since I don't really know anything about this novel, and see what we're in for here. This one says, "What if you could enter the mind of the person you love the most?" Inca meets Matilda in art school and is instantly drawn to her. Matilda makes art that feels truly original, and Inca, trying hard to prove herself in this fiercely competitive world, pours everything into their friendship. But when Matilda's fame and success cause her to begin to drift away, Inca becomes desperate to keep her close. Enter Scaffold. Purported to enhance empathy, this cutting-edge technology could allow Inca to inhabit Matilda's mind and access her memories, artistic inspirations, and deep-seated trauma. Undergoing this procedure would link Inca and Matilda forever. But at what cost? Blisteringly smart, thought-provoking, and shocking, Immaculate Conception offers us a portrait of close friendship, achingly tender and twisted, that captures the tenuous line between love and possession, which will haunt you long after you turn the final page. That's an intriguing sort of a plot. It's, there are things like it that I've seen before, this idea of what it would be like to see the world through somebody else's eyes, to even inhabit the inside of their mind. Sort of a being John Malkovich kind of a thing, although this seems to be going in a rather different direction than that film did. By the way, if you haven't seen that film, I recommend that as well. This one sounds like it deals perhaps more with the, what would you say, the issues of boundaries in a friendship, and whether one forces oneself upon another, that sort of a thing. Seems like those are kinds of the themes that it's dealing with, but in a sort of science fiction horror sort of a way. As I said before, it's not one that I'm familiar with, but it is also an interesting sounding one. It has been well praised by highly respected authors, and it's another one I am quite looking forward to read. So it seems like we've got some good stuff this month, but of course, we're not quite finished. There's always some extra goodies in these little black pouches. We have this envelope or sack that has extra goodies, as I said. It'll have bookmarks, and I can feel something thick, which will be some sort of a beverage, I'm sure, a coffee or a tea or something of the sort. So let's quickly just get through this extra stuff, and that will bring us to a close. The first of those is, in fact, that beverage. This is one from the Haunted Cups Coffee Company. It's called Brain Dead Vacation. There's a picture of a zombie with a cup on it. It says, delicious even if you have half a brain. I was going to make a joke about certain people, but I'll be good. And this, it is a pina colada flavored coffee. So that's not a combination that would have ever occurred to me. But I'm intrigued enough that I'm looking forward to sampling that. We also have the little pamphlet that identifies the theme for this month's package is called Beneath the Bone. That's the theme. This also tells us what all these items are, but I don't need to read that now because we're checking them out now. There's always a bookmark, and I think that's the next one I feel. It is. This one also says Beneath the Bone. It says Nightworms, June 2025. There are skeletal hands reaching, fingers extended toward each other on the opposite side. There is a sticker of a skeleton with some books and a lantern. Very nice for people who like stickers. There is an autographed book plate, and I can't quite make out the who the signature belongs to, but it identifies Dutton as the publisher, and that was the publisher of Immaculate Conception. So this must be Ling Ling Huang. So I will tuck that inside there, making this an autographed copy, and this one had that autographed postcard or card of some sort in it. So we have autographs from both authors or editors. There's still some more. Is that the last? There's a wrinkle at the bottom. I can't tell if there's anything else. Nah, that was just a wrinkle. This is the last item, and it is another sticker. It says, "We're all skeleton," and there's a skull and some flower designs on it. So 2 stickers, bookmark, coffee. Most important thing are, of course, the books, and as I said, I am looking forward to reading both of those. Do let me know down in the comments if you've read either of these, if you recommend either of them. Let me know if you've been reading anything else interesting. But, of course, it is now time for me to sign off and go do some of that reading. So, until next time, take care and stay scared.